I'm thinking of a house specifically that I passed on because it needed so much work. Another flipper came in and bought it and literally painted over the rotted wood fascia. And the house sold
Yeah.
for a good price. But you don't build that name recognition by doing that.
Right.
You don't get multiple offers on the 25th house that you've done in that neighborhood if you do that.
Welcome to the BiggerPockets Best Deal Ever show. I'm your lovable host, Ken Corsini, who with my wife, Anita, have flipped over 800 houses in Atlanta since 2005 and even have a show on HGTV. But this show isn't about us. It's about all the amazing real estate investors out there that are crushing it. It's about their stories, their best deals, how they sourced them, how they funded them, and what we can learn from their experiences. This is the Best Deal Ever show. Hey, this is Ken Corsini with the Best Deal Ever show, and on today's episode, I am joined by Melisa Clement. Melisa, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks, Ken.
Thanks for being with us. I really appreciate it.
Sure, my pleasure.
So you are out of the Austin market, right?
Yes.
One of the coolest places on earth.
Absolutely. Fantastic.
And fastest growing. That's what I've heard, that you've got tremendous amount of growth right now. There's some businesses coming into town. What does that look like?
It's huge, huge, just booming.
Yeah. And are you in the city of Austin? Where are you located in relation to actual Austin?
I live in Leander, just north of Austin, but most of the work that I do is in Austin proper.
Gotcha. And so I checked you out online, and you're very design heavy. Are you primarily a designer or a house flipper? What's your primary model?
I started off as a stager and designer,
Okay.
and have gone into the business of flipping homes. So I guess I am design heavy, but I think that that's one of the draws to my work and people following what I'm doing and, getting in line for my homes.
Yeah. Oh, man, if somebody's getting in line for your homes, that's a good thing. You're doing something right. You got people lining up.
It's working.
So you were in staging first, and I guess you just sort of saw the other flippers that were having success, and you're like, I'm helping these guys do this, and just said I could do this myself.
Yeah, honestly, I was a stay-at-home mom of 5 kids. My husband was working full-time for us, and I was an art major in college and never really had an outlet for that until my kids were in high school. And then I started staging homes after having remodeled my own home. A realtor friend of mine came to me and said, your house is gorgeous. Will you do some staging for me? So we used our own furniture to stage houses at first. It kind of grew from there. I started doing some staging for a flipper. And then he started asking me, what do you think about this tile? What do you think about this color? And went home one day and I told my husband, we could do this, So we sold our home. We did a live-in staging to save money. And that's how we paid for our first flip.
So your first flip was financed by just selling your own house, cashing out some equity, and just started flipping from there.
Exactly.
Really?
Exactly.
Your husband obviously believed in you, was willing to sell the house.
So much so that as things became successful, he suggested that we roll over all of his IRA money into a self-directed IRA fund. And that is actually how we fund all of the 30 flips that we have done.
Wow.
It's all self-directed IRA. So I'm in charge of all of our retirement now. It's all in my hands.
Big responsibility.
He's very trusting. Yes.
That's amazing.
He's a good man.
So now you're doing a couple of years, is that right? 3 or 4 a year?
I do 3 or 4 a year right now. We're looking to grow. I'm trying to talk my brother into coming on to help me.
There you go. So let's talk about the type of houses that you're flipping in Austin.
Okay.
Austin's a great, nice market, and obviously you're design intensive. So my guess is it's probably slightly higher end houses.
I am. I consider myself a high-end home flipper.
Okay.
Flipper.
There you go.
Yes. So I'm looking for the worst house in the best neighborhood with the best school district, basically.
Gotcha.
And I would be willing to switch out best school district for closer in location. But for me, because I live kind of a little bit out of town, I don't mind going to this, not driving all the way downtown every day.
Sure.
That relieves a big burden for me.
Absolutely. How far are you then from in town Austin?
I'm about 30 minutes.
Okay.
Away.
Gotcha. So you're like in a suburb. So where are most of the houses that you're flipping then?
They're in Northwest Austin.
Okay.
So
a little closer to
really
you.
good schools there, a lot of growth there. It just so happens that the Apple campuses have started like being developed and growing over near there.
Oh,
So
wow.
it ends up being a great fit for me.
So is there a certain like specific school district or neighborhood that you're concentrating on?
Yes, but I don't want to tell you
That's
which
right.
neighborhood
I
that
wouldn't
is.
know anyways. All you gotta do is say Northwest Austin.
Yes,
So give
it
me an
is.
idea. What are the price points that you're typically buying at?
I try to buy for under 5. When I first started in this area about 9 years ago, I think I bought my first house for 285
Mm-hmm.
and was so happy to sell it for 450.
Mm-hmm.
And now I cannot buy a house for 450 over there. I mean, it's tough,
And this
really
is in how
tough.
many years has it appreciated that much?
This happened, it got to that appreciation probably 3 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. And I know I'm shooting myself in the foot because a lot of it is working that area.
Yeah.
You know, my own comps are kind of killing me in some ways. But now I can buy a house in the mid 4s to 5s,
Mm-hmm.
and I can sell in the high 8s and low 9s. So,
Wow. The
yeah,
same
it's great.
areas that were selling in the 200s
Same exact neighborhood.
are selling in the 9s now.
Yes.
I'm telling you, I've heard that Austin's just going bananas. It's such a cool place to live.
Yeah, and not everywhere is, you
Yeah.
know. I think it does help me to have stayed mostly in the same neighborhood the whole time.
Yeah.
I would say 90% of my 35 houses have been in that area, that school district.
Wow.
So I've noticed that people have started following me. They know they want to move to Austin. They know they want that school district, and they see me on Instagram or something, and so they get excited about when is your next one going to be available? I want to be the first one in, that kind
Wow.
of thing. So that has helped a lot too.
Okay. So your model is you've really developed a specific reputation in a specific area of town, so much so that people know you for your work and they're looking for your next house. Is that
Yeah,
accurate?
that's really accurate. And I've also tried to develop my social media presence,
Mm-hmm.
specifically on Instagram,
Yep.
because I have a lot of Austin followers, and they have started to know my work. If they're looking for something new, then they're willing to look in Northwest Austin in order to get one of my houses. So that's
Wow.
nice too.
See, that's unique. It's unique that somebody specializes in such a specific area and then really carves out a reputation for themselves. It's almost like you're a new home builder where people are seeking out a custom home from a home builder, but they're yours. And I'm assuming they're extremely design heavy. That's obviously why you've
Very,
built a following on Instagram, right?
very design heavy. I'm super picky and just so picky is the best word I can think of.
Yeah.
You know, just very detail oriented.
Yeah. High
So,
quality, obviously.
yeah. Well, I think so.
Yeah.
I guess
Well, how
other
much?
people think so.
Obviously, other people do too. So what's a typical rehab price point for you?
I have not spent less than 150 on a house for 5 years at least.
Yes. Okay. So
So
you're doing everything.
I'm doing everything. We basically gut the house. I do try to, donate cabinets, or I actually my kids have made all of their money for college by selling stuff out of the houses. So
Really?
now that my kids are all graduated from college, I'll just take another, high school senior, usually from my church congregation, and say, hey, do you want to make a couple $1,000s?
Yeah.
Sell everything out of this house. So they'll come in, they'll measure all the cabinets, and they'll sell everything they can. And it's been a good income for people.
That's amazing.
It's
Yeah.
great.
Good for you. You're educating people in the same process, flipping houses. That's
Well, I hate
phenomenal.
filling up landfills. That's the downside of
Yeah.
the work that I do, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand that. But you're adding, I mean, you're turning neighborhoods around, you're adding value to those neighborhoods. I mean, what you're doing is a really good thing. So out of these 30 some houses, I'm sure there is one that stands out to you as your best deal ever.
Well, my best deal ever is the one that I just most recently sold. Honestly, each one goes up a little bit more, right?
Yeah.
So my most recent sale is the one that I've made the most money on so far.
Wow.
I'm hoping the next one will be even more than that.
That's
We'll
right.
see.
Okay. Well, tell me about it. How did you source this one?
Well, this one came through a wholesaler. He
Okay.
approached me and said that he knew that I did houses in this zip code and would I be interested in it. I had bought a house from a wholesaler before, and so I thought, well, we might as well try this. They had good terms, and the only downside was that they wanted a lease back because the kids lived out of town and they were putting their father, who lived in the home, into assisted living.
Okay.
Them out of town.
Yep.
So they needed to be able to go through all of his stuff. And it was 40 years worth of stuff, right?
Yep. Yep.
So I think they did the best they could. They gave us a $5,000 deposit in order to lease back.
Yep.
But as the days went on and the terms were coming to a close, I was like, there's no way they're going to get everything out of here. So anyway, we said the time is up, and we had so much stuff to go through.
Really?
That was kind of a bummer. I wish I had just had an estate sale.
Yeah.
I tried to bring in the college students, right, to make some money, but that takes a lot of time. And anyway, lesson learned. Next time, if I get a house that is full of stuff, I'm just going to have the estate sale myself and just sell everything out of it.
Yeah.
Because it took us, I would say, 10 days with 5 guys working to get all the stuff taken out of there, taken to Salvation Army, taken to the dump, whatever.
Yeah.
3-car garage plus the whole house. It was a nightmare.
We've done that many times where we've taken over a house and the kids didn't want really much of anything. And so we're left with it all. And it's funny reflecting back. It's a little bit sad. These people spend their whole lives collecting all these memorabilia, and it just goes in the dumpster.
Exactly. And that's one reason why I really wanted, if there was a buyer out there, someone who wanted this stuff, I would love to give it to them.
Yeah.
Finding that connection is tough. Now there's a business idea right there.
That's right. There you go. We did the last time we had a house like that last year, actually, that was just everything was in there. Some of my employees went in there and they did estate sale for a couple weekends in a row. And I gave them a percentage of everything, but then we took all the money that we made and we threw a big party for the company. And so we're handing out gift cards to everybody, and we did it up right. It was fun. I mean, it made it more of like a team thing. No one person was benefiting, but there's gold in those, right? Sometimes there's amazing things to find.
Oh, there was a lot of original artwork there that was very valuable that I ended up with. That was like stashed in corners and stuff. So I got some nice artwork out of it.
There you go. Yeah, it's not all bad. It's not all junk usually. So
$10,000 later, I was like, man, this $5,000 deposit is, nothing compared to the time and money I'm spending cleaning it out.
I'm sure.
But it was all good. I think
was it like
that one again. Go ahead.
What was that? Like a 30-day lease back for them to try
something
to get all their
like
stuff
that.
out?
I can't remember exactly, but I think it may have been less than 30 days.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we gave them 15 to 20 days, something like that.
Gotcha.
But we spent, again, about $150 on fixing up the house, the pool, replacing equipment, resurfacing the pool.
Wow.
Doing all of that stuff. We bought the house for $507,000.
Okay.
And we put it on the market for $899,000. And within 24 hours, we had multiple offers, and it sold for $925,000.
Wow. That's amazing.
I think our profit, I haven't gone through our exact expenditures. $150,000 was my guess, but I think that's pretty accurate. So I think our profit's about $230,000.
Unbelievable. Wow. Oh my goodness. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Are you selling at the top of the market? Are your houses selling are you pushing the comps?
Yes. For that neighborhood, absolutely.
Okay.
When we sell, I normally, if it's not a cash offer and they need to have an appraisal done, then I have to provide my own comps for my own houses. Yeah,
because appraisers, a lot of times, they don't do a good job of giving you credit for really nice finishes. Yes. They're looking at square footage in bedrooms and baths, and there's it's not apples to apples, right?
Some of the comps that they use, I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I wouldn't move into that house if you paid me.
I know. It can be so frustrating. You're like, you need to appreciate my nice quality and work and whatnot.
Yes, exactly.
So $925. So, okay. So let's talk real quick about how you funded it. You had mentioned that your husband has a retirement account. Is that typically how you guys buy and fund the rehab?
Now I mean, I was curious last year when the stock market just went so crazy.
Yeah.
Did so well. I was like, oh man, I hope that I made at least the same amount of money during this 8-year period. as if we had left it in the stock market in mutual funds, right? So I sat down and I figured it out, and I did better than the stock market by far. So
Oh gosh, I would think so.
I was really happy about that. It made me feel better that he had trusted me with all of the money.
So
So
are you lending to an entity, or are you actually buying in the IRA?
buying in the IRA, we have 3 self-directed IRA accounts, LLCs, and then I have a personal LLC. And those can combine together, depending, like there's the Roth IRA, there's a SEP IRA,
Right.
all different tax entities. So,
Yep.
but now you can combine them and just divvy it up later. So as long as you know up front what the delineation is going to be, then it works out great.
And all
So
the
we
profits,
haven't had to borrow money for a long time now.
that's amazing. That's such a good way to do it. Is now all the money going back? I mean, all the profits though are being recognized in the retirement accounts.
Yes.
Correct. Which again, though, it's all still essentially tax-free or tax deferred, depending on what it is.
Exactly. Except for the one in my personal. So my Melisa Clement Designs account does take part in some of this.
Gotcha.
I got bills to pay.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, it's tough if it's all tied up in retirement accounts. And it does get a little tricky. I mean, mingling retirement accounts and personal. So you definitely want to make sure you have a good CPA that's kind of walking you through all that.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
So you funded it yourself. And then in terms of exiting, you just listed it with a real estate agent. Now, are you licensed, or do you just have somebody that you work with?
No, but I'm in the process of that. A very sad event happened. So that original realtor that I talked to you about that got me started staging and has been my cheerleader for all these years, she just recently.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
Oh, that's tough.
Gosh, it hits me all the time.
Yeah.
She just recently passed away last month.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's tough.
So it was worth it to me because of the scenario and getting me started in the business and everything. And she was such a cheerleader for me all these years. Even though at a certain point I knew that I didn't really need her in order to do my business and sell these houses that I was doing, or even find them because people were coming to us at that point. I did that because of our friendship, right?
Yeah.
It was the cast your bread upon the waters idea.
Sure. Absolutely.
So at this point now, with her passing, that's part of why I'm thinking I need to change things. Maybe I start growing by doing this myself, or taking on my brother to come in the mix, and I could have a whole other crew going on. So I have 7 guys that work for me every day right now.
That's your crew.
My crew.
I gotcha. Yeah.
And then I bring in subcontractors of tile, electrical, plumbing.
Right.
Framing.
Specific trades.
Mm-hmm.
Because really, I mean, one deal at 900,000. I mean, if you listed it yourself, you're saving $30,000. I mean,
exactly.
that's a lot. And you do a couple
of
those a year.
My fees on that last sale were $37,000. I mean, I had a deal with her, so she gave me 1% on the sale.
Okay, good.
3% to the buyer's agent.
Yeah.
And 1 to her.
Gotcha.
But that's still $37,000. So.
That's still a lot of money, right?
Yeah. And she got the full 3% up front whenever we bought the house. So
the
wholesaler, for example,
yeah,
they don't pay fees. So I paid her fees.
Oh, wow.
In order to get the 1%. Like we always had that deal. Okay. No matter how we get the house, she gets 3% up front and 1% on the end.
Oh, man.
So
it's very generous of you.
It was, but she was, interestingly, now with how things played out, I feel so good about that.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with being generous. There's nothing wrong with being generous. It always comes back.
I honestly feel like that if the times when I get stingy in my business, whether it's with my crew or otherwise, it's when I don't do as well on the sale. So
that's interesting.
I've learned that lesson.
Yeah.
As I open my heart and am generous.
Yeah.
I am generously paid back.
Yeah. So. That's a good word. Well, so that's a good segue into what did you learn through this one, and just even the last handful of houses that you've done that you've implemented in your business that you would maybe even pass on to somebody else that's looking to kind of follow in your footsteps?
Wow. I am not sure if I have anything that is that specific, because there's so many things. And a lot of them are the trite sayings that everyone knows. Buy low, sell high.
Right.
But I definitely believe in doing the very, very best quality that you can. In fact, I would spend extra on doing it right rather than thinking, oh, I'm going to save $1 by painting over this rotted wood fascia, you know?
Right.
I see, I'm thinking of a house specifically that I passed on because it needed so much work. Another flipper came in and bought it and literally painted over the rotted wood fascia. And the house sold for a good price. But you don't build that name recognition by doing that.
Right.
You don't get multiple offers on the 25th house that you've done in that neighborhood if you do that. And for me, I'd rather not make as much money for the first 5, but build up my name and my reputation so that then when you have people waiting to buy your houses, that's the ideal for me.
Yeah, I think that is a testament to the business that you've built. And there's not many house flippers that I know of that have built such a good local reputation that agents and wholesalers are bringing them deals because they know they're going to do a good job. But then on the back end that you have people literally waiting in line for your next house. That is a phenomenal business that you've built for yourself.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
So, well, Melisa, this was awesome. This is a great lesson in doing quality work and building a reputation in your local market. Thank you so much for coming on the show with us today.
Ken. So nice to meet you.
You too. Take care.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Best Deal Ever show, brought to you by BiggerPockets. If you've been energized, entertained, or enlightened by today's show, please feel free to hit the subscribe button. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Ken Corsini, or check us out online at redbarnhomes.com. And don't forget, one man's best deal ever may be the inspiration you need to create your next best deal. So, hope to see you on the next episode.